Hey there, y'all. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? This is the Wicked Witch from the Midwest, and I have currently taken over the Crypt Monkey stream to make a Halloween wreath for y'all. Should be very exciting. I'm very excited to do it. This is not the first one I've made. This is indeed the second one I've made. This one is much smaller because I can't exactly fit that large of a thing on the screen. But this one won't be a crescent moon like the first one I made. But it should still be really fun. I got the idea of doing a Halloween wreath off of TikTok. I don't remember who the creator was, but I am very excited to make another one. Alright, so the first thing you do, for this type at least, is LEDs. Very much love the lights. So it's going to be underneath of this bad boy right here. These guys. So you're going to want to wrap this first, and you're going to want to start with the back end with the battery so you can loop it through easier, because you can't exactly loop the battery through the wires. So you just got to collect all of this. Oh, hi, Kayla. So now we're just weaving this guy through. It's not exactly easy because it doesn't like doing what you want it to. I've got pumpkins flying everywhere. So what I like to do, because there's plenty of it, is to start with the middle two wires and then go around the outer wires on my second loop. Thanks, Kayla, for... Yeah, I really like the blue. I wasn't expecting to like it, but...
And thank you, Dragonclaw, for the subscription. That's our very first. So.
Very first one.
Thank you, Dragonclaw.
I feel like we should send you a present for that.
Uh-huh.
So you just gotta weave it through, and it's gonna take forever, but it's gonna be worth it for sure. Oop. Oop, going the wrong way. I see, that's the fun part of making things, is all the times you get to mess up. On the plus side is the farther you get through, the easier it gets to do. Although as I say that, it gets tangled up everywhere. Thank you, Max, for the subscribe. No, you said that. You guys said that, and then boom, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.
You guys rock.
Hey, and Max, I want to let you know that your dice from last night actually got delayed in shipping. They are supposed to be here by 8 o'clock tonight, is what it's still showing, but I don't actually have an update on that right now. So I'll let you know as soon as I know.
Finally got it through that one. Ooh. almost all the way back around. So the first one I made of these, you can actually see on our Discord. It is in the photo gallery section. I love how it turned out. My inspiration for that one was the DreamWorks Kid on the Moon. And it was just a lot of fun to make. I messed up a lot along the way, but hey, there's no fun in DIY without failure, you know? Back through this. Yeah, that only happens whenever I stop halfway through. Alright, now that I've looped all the way back around to my LEDs again, I'm going to do the easier part, which is just looping it through the outside. And what I do for this to make sure it stays in place is I go about 2 rounds and then I wrap it into this little hook right here and then I just twist it around once. And then I just do that all the way around. Ooh. And you want to make sure you don't cover up your battery pack because you're going to have to be able to take that in and out for whenever you need to refresh the batteries. Just looping it around this hook again. Thank you, Max. Yes, I absolutely loved painting those little pumpkins. They were just an absolute blast to paint. Although, if I'm honest, it took a lot longer than I was expecting to for those little guys. So now I'm just going to wrap the end of this guy around a little spot just to make sure it's secure. After I get this over all of this, they'll stay exactly where they are. You just want to make sure they're secure for that part. One thing I love to do is I like to keep the packaging for the LED because they always come with this little try me thing. So you can just plug it back in and see how it looks. The trick is to find where it plugs in. So that's where we are so far. So pretty good distribution of light. There is a lot more light up here. So I'm going to make sure that that spot is very clear. And then the other spots I'll cover up more. That way it will look like a more even distribution. That's where we are so far. Now one thing I like to do to make sure this guy doesn't fall everywhere is I use some floral tape, although some masking tape would work as well. And I just take a little strip of that and I just hold it on there. Oh! And now we have a beautiful mom doing the chicken dance, like a dinosaur.
Because they won't let me macaque.
Yes, because I don't feel like making them lose viewers. So you just do that on there, and it makes sure that that stays nice and secure while you're working and flipping it back and forth. And then whenever you're about to get back to there, you just to pull that off, or you can pull it off afterwards. I'll show you how to do that also. But this, oh man, I love making these. Alright, and then I'm going to use a little bit more of my floral tape to just make sure that my beginning stays nice and exactly where I want it to. because that just makes life easier. Now, one thing I am worried about this tool guy I got here is it is much thinner than the one I used for before, but I should just have to do like an extra round or two. Like on the first one I did 2 whole rounds, and that one was a lot thicker. But I think it'll be good if I just do a couple extra rounds. Oh, I'm just knocking everything, aren't I? And this bad boy, you just wrap it around just as many times as you like. And you don't have to worry about this because we can cut it out a little square for it later. And then you just put some hot glue around it and it works like wonders. And it's alright if it's a little loose because that just gives it volume. So now we're back around and we're covering this up, which is perfectly fine. It's pretty easy to find afterwards. It's the solid piece. Actually, before I cover that, I'm gonna test the color again and see how it looks with this amount of thickness. Oh, if I can get it in the hole properly. Alright. Oh, see, yeah, that looks great. The only thing I'm worried about is it puffs up a lot, so whenever I put things on it, it might not keep the same volume. But I guess we'll see, huh? Alright, so we're gonna unplug this bad boy. Alright. And then we're gonna take our fancy smancy sewing scissors, fabric scissors, because you're going to want to make sure that you get a nice line, and you're going to want to make sure you get it in the right spot too. So we are pretty much done with that. Just gotta take a little bit off the top. There we go. And then I'll hold that in place with some floral tape for right now, because that's just how I roll. And one helpful thing about this one is you can tell where the bottom is, where the battery pack is, because that's where I ended. So that's the only spot of orange, which I'm absolutely going to make sure stays in there because it looks very nice. Alright, now we're going to plug in our hot glue gun. If I can find an outlet. There we go. So that's plugged in now. Now I get to show off my little pumpkins while we wait for the hot glue gun to heat up. So I made quite a few of them, probably too many, because I don't think I can fit all of these on here.
And by the way, the reason the lights flashed on Kora is because she hit the button on the power strip when trying to plug in.
I am very good at messing things up.
But
so,
you look super cute when you're doing it.
So I've got these guys, which are like almost like a pastel orange, and they're really nice looking. And then I've got my ghost cuties. This one's angry. I don't really know why, but he is. And then I've got Derpy 1 and Derpy 2, and they're named that because of the amount of teeth they have. And then I have these like antique white ones that I was really worried about making, but Mom convinced me, and I love the color that it turned out for. And I've got these two cute ones, which I believe are my mom's favorites because they are just absolutely adorable.
they were my favorite until I saw the toothy smiles, and now those are my
Yeah.
favorite, but I still really like the yellow and the orange striped.
And then I've got these red ones, which I think look really nice. And then I've got 2 more that are similar to those 2, but just like a slightly brighter color, and I really like those also. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use yet, but I think Derpy 1, Derpy 2, Angry Ghost, and Shocked Ghost are definitely going in there. And probably the Halloween Peppermints.
That's why they look like candy corn. That's why I like them.
Yeah, that's a better name than Halloween Peppermints, but, you know, they're Halloween Peppermints now, so... Glue loves to take forever to heat up, which is fun. Yeah. Not sure if I'm going to live that one down, but I don't care, so... Just going to get a little bit more reinforcement happening here because it doesn't really like to stick. And then whenever because we're going to use hot glue on this section, when we're cutting out the battery and then we're going to go around the phrase, we're going to go around where it's going to be fraying. That way it will make sure it doesn't come apart too fast. Oh, I put the scissors away. Alright, so you just got to feel for your start and end and then just cut it open. You're gonna want to make sure you get through all of the little layers because it loves its layers. Now you don't necessarily have to cut a huge square like I like to do, but I like to make sure that I can pull it out easy enough for whenever it needs battery placements. And you could also leave this flap on it to make sure that it just gets as much is hidden as much as possible. But honestly, it's the back of the wreath, so it doesn't matter too much. But as you can see, I can now pull off the floral tape that was on there holding it still. And it does sort of lock in to the wire wreath, but now I can put batteries in and turn it on and then set it right back in, and then once the there we go, the hot glue gun is now hot, so we can seal this bad boy up. Yeah, the main ingredient on this wreath is definitely hot glue. Because you are going to need a lot of it to make sure it looks perfect. And it's alright to leave the floral wire there because, once again, it's the background, you know? So you don't necessarily need it to be perfect back here. I just like to make sure that it doesn't unwind, you know. Unsurprisingly, I'm making a mess. Alright. So now while that dries, I'm going to make sure that this stays nice and firmly down. Because if it stays down, it stays in place. I'd say that's pretty well in place. Oh, but not dry. Oopsie. I might be a glue gun hog, but I bought my own glue gun, so it's fine. So the spot I got literally everything I got here can be found at Joann's. Our Joann's is a little smaller than most of the other ones, so I went to a different one to get most of these things. But honestly, most Joann's will have all of these supplies. These little pumpkins came from the fall section, which is like getting close to clearance now, which I'm very excited for. The moss was just in the just normal floral aisle. It's just a moss sheet. I found these little bones, and they're so cute, and I'm so excited to use these. And they are in just a normal aisle. It's not even a Halloween thing. The little rat guy, who's going to be our star today, he is going to be in the Halloween section. And then most of these other things are all just going to be standard things they have in the Joann's at normal times. Alright, so it seems like this is all nice and dry. It's a little jiggly, but it's going to be fun. Mama, do you mind grabbing me some batteries?
Absolutely.
Snazzy.
You need
3 AA's.
double A's. Gotcha.
Yes, even the LEDs came from the fall Joann's section. All of this stuff is from Joann's, and I absolutely love Joann's because they are my favorites. So, the next thing is to plan out the design, which I am very excited for. I think it definitely has to go like this, so we can hang it from this side and we can still access the battery pack. And I think the rat is probably going to go on the side, maybe like this. Thank you, my dear.
Sure.
We have batteries, which you can get literally anywhere nowadays, because
We bought a
they're
giant
batteries.
pack on Amazon.
Yes. We buy a lot of batteries when we have to buy batteries. Because battery shopping stinks. Oh, now if I can figure out how to open the pack. There we go. Oh, and looks like it was already on. So let's just turn that off for now. Oh, and it looks like this set actually has a timer setting also, which means you can turn it on at night, and even if you forget it, it'll still be off by morning, which I absolutely love when they do that with these things. Oh, and you're going to want to make sure that you have the power section on the front. That way you don't have to try to pull it out and stuff. I made that mistake with the first one, but it's easy enough to fix. I'm just lazy. Alright, and back to the front. This guy really likes flying around. Alright, there we go. Alright, so the little rat is probably going to go right there. The bones are just going to be strewn everywhere because they're bones, and that's what they do. Might actually stick some... No, I don't like that. I'm just going to stick them randomly in random spots. And then I'm just going to leave them where they are and then get to them one by one to hot glue. Probably not going to use all of them. Also probably might, because I like bones. I might actually make this little guy hold some. I don't know yet. The fun thing I really like about this rat is his tail moves. So you can change where his tail position is, and I absolutely love that.
Do you think you should put them in the center at the bottom?
I would, but that's the only spot that any orange is showing. And I kind of like having him on the side.
No, I mean like that.
I want to make sure he'll sit flush against the door.
Okay.
And else because that's going to be really cute when it's vertical.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Max. Yeah, a lot of people do think that I sound exactly like Mom. Now, one thing I'm going to do that I didn't mention to anyone is, Mom, I'm going to need some white string because I'm going to make some of these pumpkins floating.
And technically, Max, we both sound like their Aunt Heather because Heather is my older sister by 2 years, so technically we sound like her. But yes, we all sound exactly the same.
All of these guys are going to be sitting sort of like this, and it's going to be so much fun because they're just going to be like sitting like they're going to be like sideways, and then some are going to be floating, which I'm so excited to do.
How about some of my glow-in-the-dark embroidery thread?
Even better. Alright, so you don't need a lot, but I like a lot, so I'm going to grab a lot. Say probably that is like way more than enough. Got that much of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a slip knot, which for those of you who don't know, you pinch one side and then you wrap around your finger twice. You take the far loop, put it over the first loop, and then you put that one over your finger, and then you've got a little knot there. So I'm just going to take that, and then I'm going to put it around the stem. That's what it's called. It's called a stem. And then I'm going to tighten that. And then I'm going to do a normal knot on top of that. Hey, Wicked Angel. And then I'm going to do a normal knot on top of that. The slip knot's just to make sure you get it in the right position before committing to it. Mom, where are your tweezers? Oh, there they are. Nope, those are covered in grass.
No, from last night.
Yeah.
Clean them. All of my tweezers are on this, though.
Okay, my hands are too large to do something so small. Oh, and that's why you make a slip knot. Apparently to everyone I sound exactly like you, Ma.
Yes.
Which is not a surprise because I am literally her clone, so. Alright, so let's do that slip knot again, if it would let me. 4th time's the charm. There we go. Alright. Nice and tight slip knot. And then let's try that normal knot again. Oh, there goes the rat. Most people would be able to do this with just their hands, but my hands don't work very well, so yes, I am the 2.0 for sure.
New and improved.
Yes. Alright, so now we got our first floating pumpkin, except I just realized I did that on the wrong pumpkin, so I'm just gonna slide that off, because I want my ghosts to float, because you know you have to have the ghosts floating. And then I'm just going to slide that bad boy on this one instead. And then I'm going to put just a dab of super glue to make sure that it sticks on without being a big glob of super glue. And once again, it'll be in the back, so it's not really that big of a deal. But you know what? It's nice to have a little bit of perfect. So there's our first floating pumpkin. Super cute. I'm so excited. Alright. So that bad boy's just going to go over there. And then we're going to grab the next little floating pumpkin to do. Just grabbing my string. Sounds like Dad's making a lot of noise outside.
He is currently working on putting away all of the yard implements that he was using, while I am babysitting the stream and learning the tech side of it.
Which you seem very excited about.
I am. I really am. There's a lot of shiny buttons that I'm thoroughly resisting pushing.
Yes, please don't push anything you don't know how to do.
Well, I know how to do it, but there's just a bunch of buttons and I want to push them.
Is it the right time to push it?
Well, I don't know. Do you want to talk about what you were painting?
Well, I was painting pumpkins. Oh, and I made this one a little too loose, but that is perfectly fine because I can just super glue it tighter. Well, according to Sawdust, you should push every single one of those buttons. And who are we to deny Sawdust?
So I actually know how to make the loop go bigger while you're talking about it. Sawdust is my 2 peas in a pod, so our brains work exactly the same. So if you want to talk about the painting of them, I can make that screen go bigger while you're talking.
I absolutely can while I'm struggling with the super glue. So with the pumpkins, they started off just like paper mache pumpkins. You know, they were a nice color, but they weren't really what I was going for because I wanted to have some like fun Halloween decoration type ones. So I painted them. I painted some of them with a base coat, and some of them I didn't paint with a base coat. No real rhyme or reason, and I just used I just used plain acrylics, and they did the job perfectly well. And then I just, with no rhyme or reason, did details here and there. I wasn't even gonna do the pumpkin peppermints, the Halloween peppermints, but I decided, you know what? Why not? Let's have some fun with it. And then for the... Oh, get off of me. I'm getting attacked by string. For the faces, the ones that have carved faces, they actually should be able to glow in the dark. That's what the little art and glow stuff is I put some of that in what I used for the face paint. And then they should glow in the dark, as well as the thread that is now attached to some of the things. And I am so excited. But yeah, as you can see, I painted some of them white, left some of those white, changed the color of all others. The ones with thinner coats on them were the ones that I did the base coat on. But yeah, I had a lot of fun painting those. They were a lot of fun. Although I have finally finished getting the string around the ghost pumpkins. So I think we are going to figure out where everything is going. And then we are going to start gluing. So I think I'm going to go pretty heavy on the bones because the pumpkins are going to go on around the inside. And then our little rat friend is going to go over here. And then I do have some moss that I'm going to put over him and over a couple of the other spots, maybe on some of the pumpkins. And that should be a lot of fun because as you can see that it has a lot of screws in it. So if I just use some moss, it'll make it look like slightly more real while also adding some fun little things to it. And I'm just super excited. All right. So I think... add 2 more bones. And I think that's enough bones. Because we might have one sticking out of his mouth, because I do have one more. What do you guys think? Yeah? I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's going to be holding that last bone with his mouth.
Nice.
Alright, but we'll wait on that piece, because that'll be... Actually, no, let's do that part now, because why not? So I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue on a part that's going to be touching his mouth. I unfortunately do not have vampire teeth tags. Alright.
This month. It's not Halloween month yet.
It's always Halloween. The only time it's not Halloween is December 24th and December 25th. And then it's straight back to Halloween. Alright. And now our little rat boy has a bone. Oh, that's gonna look so cute. I am so excited. Alright, and then we are going to get started on our bones. And these are just gonna be super simple, just little dabs of hot glue, and they should stick on really well. Just a dot, not a lot, as elementary school teachers like to say. Oh, what really helps is whenever you don't attach it to yourself. Oh. Which I have thoroughly done. Alright, let's try that one again. Oh, it has attached to the right section. And we're just going to go around. And I started at a spot that was easy for me to remember. I've kind of got like a clock sort of thing happening here, which is pretty cool looking. But I got a big old gap for the rat. So that should be pretty easy to find again. Oop, that guy didn't stick very well. Exactly, Max. You have to glue yourself to at least one thing or you're not really crafting. I don't care if you're crocheting, you gotta glue yourself to something.
When I'm crocheting, I just tie myself into it instead.
I'm just gluing my hands together real quick. Because, you know, that's just what you gotta do sometimes. But I love this little pack of bones I found. Because it's just... They're not the most realistic looking bones. They're really cute. But they've got like these little speckles on them. I'll get a closer look for you guys on this one. But like they've got these little speckles on them. And it makes them look not as realistic, but they're really cute. And I realized about halfway through painting these pumpkins that, wait, I'm not going for realistic. I'm going for gosh darn adorable. And you know what? I think that's what's happening here today. Okay. Goodness, you'd think there was a spider in here, but no, it's just me and my glue gun. Alright, and then last boy. So I found the bones at Joann's. Let's see if I can find the brand, because I'm pretty sure I left it somewhere in my pile of junk. Here we go. Alright, so that is the brand. It's Jim Holt's Ideology. But yeah, it's Boneyard is the type, and there's 12 little bones in there, and they're just so cute. Since Jake, you are indeed a DM, these are the perfect size for giant bones, I do believe. In case you really want to put some fright into your players.
I think Jake puts enough fright.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Thank you. No.
He's our DM.
The more we die, the more characters we get. That's all I'm saying.
Alright. Armless and legless. Shut up.
I'm armless, he's legless. Not the archer. The archer is what made him legless, though. Alright, now we're just going to put big old globs on his feet just to make sure he sticks real well. And another great thing about this guy is he can be tilting his head like a confused puppy, and I just absolutely love this guy so much. Oh yeah, I Miss Leo, I heard about doing that, about doing the air compressor and the glue gun, and I really want to do it, but I don't think we have an air compressor. If
You actually, for my air gun, I have an air compressor.
Okay, we will be doing that eventually, but not tonight.
But yes, we're doing that.
Yes. Alright, so I'm going to make sure all of these guys glue down nice and well. And because we're doing moss, that means that we can throw plenty of hot glue on there. But I want to make sure that this guy is going to hold on nice. And look how cute that is so far. Oh. Mama had her doubts about him going on the edge like that, but I think it looks awesome. Yes. And you were wrong again, but oh my goodness, it's so cute. Alright.
I did a good switch, Dags!
Is that Miss Leo from Leo Crafts? Because we are out of caramel.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Yeah.
You guys need to chill out.
You need to chill out.
I don't know which one of you finished it, but I absolutely did not get the last piece.
I got the last piece. I also didn't get a lot of pieces.
I did, but I didn't get the last one.
Alright. So he is definitely on there, and I think I am going to put a pumpkin in his hands because nothing is cuter than a dead rat with a bone in his hands and a pumpkin in his hands. Bone in his mouth, pumpkin in his hands. I'm great at speaking. It's fun. But of course, I did this in the wrong order, so it's going to be fun to try to get it in there. But I would say that fits pretty well. Maybe. I'm not sure yet. I'm still a little on the fence. I don't think I'm going to do that. What I am going to do is make sure his foot stays nice and secure, because he's not wanting to. Oop. Got more cobwebs.
Stay in your square.
You stay in your square.
You stay in your square.
You stay in your square. Alright.
I'm in my square.
Alright, and there it is, the lights on so far. Oh, that is just so pretty. That's where it's gonna go, like. And I think it's time to start hanging some pumpkins, and I am very excited because we got some spooky little pumpkins. Yes, Dags. Miss Leo makes homemade caramel, and it is absolutely phenomenal. Alright, so the battery pack is not wanting to stay in because it's being a gentleman, apparently. So I am just going to add the floral tape to it again, and it's just going to stay there because the battery shouldn't need to be replaced for a long time. And if they do, then I have more tape. You know, that's the awesome thing about tape, is there's plenty of it. I'm probably off screen right now, but it's a difficult maneuver to do whenever you're trying to get through that tiny little hole. Even with all of that twisting and winding, he still stayed perfectly in his spot. It's a good little rat. Alright. So with these bad boys, they might do a little bit of spinning. But that's okay because you can spin them back to their spot. That's the magical portion. Oh, yes. This is one of the things that Leo Crafts does is soaps. They also do whipped sugar scrubs, which are phenomenal. Caramel and beard oils.
Caramel with espresso in it.
Yes. But they do it based on super nerdy things, and it's a lot of fun. This is Boomerang Boy, which is my favorite scent, and also my favorite character. I have already stockpiled on soaps from them because I love their scent. And it has those beads, the exfoliating beads in them. And they are just phenomenal. Yeah, they are great. I don't know their website name, but Dad's probably working on plugging them right there. And there it is. Speedy McGee over there. Now we're going to get back to it. But that was a well worth it plug because it's phenomenal stuff.
And we take advertising money in form of candy.
Specifically, caramel,
Espresso.
raspberry,
Espresso.
raspberry. All right, so I think...
That's what I keep saying, Dags. I got room for you.
So we've got 2 ghosts, which are going to be our floaty boys. So we've got our surprise ghost and our angry ghost. So I think those are the 2 spots we're going to go. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip it around and then glue these strings to the back and then cut off the extra, because they're literally paper. They're just so light. They're awesome. But we are going to flip it around, hit the camera in the process as per usual. And then we're going to realign and then glue it on. And then burn your hand in the process, because once again, it doesn't matter what you're doing, there's certain things you got to do while crafting, otherwise you're not really crafting. Alright. Then this bad boy will go there, and it's okay if they're not even, because it just means that it looks even cuter. That's probably why he's angry, is because he's not right next to his brother. Cobwebs, and then cut off the extra. It doesn't have to be all the extra. Little nubs is perfectly fine. You just want to make sure that it doesn't get back over. All right, peel the hot glue off of your skin and then wait for it to cool, and then you should be able to flip it back around, but you don't want to do it too fast, otherwise the string could fall out. It could do other things, you just want to make sure that it works perfectly. I don't recommend doing what I'm doing right now. I just like to make sure it gets in between everything to make sure it can't slide out, especially whenever you're working with thicker ribbons. If you only put it on one side, it's possible it can still slide out because it's because you don't get it in between here because you just put it over like that. So you just want to make sure you get it on both sides. That way it stays in nice and well. I'd say that's close enough to dry considering how thin they are. And this is what we have so far.
Looks like eyeballs.
They're so cute. I love my little ghosts.
Did you mention who you normally are on the stream to everybody? Some people may not realize that's you.
Oh, yeah, so I'm usually watching the stream or making fun of Mom on the stream, and I'm Zombie Kora. I'm the person who dances behind the camera most days.
That's why we did the chicken dance.
Yes, that is why she did the chicken dance behind me. All right. Oh. Step 1, get in screen. I'm learning. This is my first stream.
You're doing good.
All right, so I think
You're rocking it.
this little guy with 2 teeth is going to go over here because he's cute and that's where I want him. Oh, and by the way, this wreath is going to be on Shopify after the stream. Probably not immediately after, but at some point after the stream, it's going to be on that. Get my cobwebs out of the way. Make sure this guy sticks on nice and neat. Thank you, Sawdust. Alright, so I think that guy is sticking pretty well. So then we're going to find double teethies. We're going to pick a spot for him. I don't want him too close to his brother, but I think maybe we can do something like up here. That should be really cute. Right up there, just like opposite of his brother. Has to be higher because he has 1 tooth because he's special like that. Alright. Whop some glue on his butt. Get rid of his cobwebs. Plop him on. I absolutely love how I'm doing this guy today. Because the last one I did was like a lot, it wasn't as cutesy as this one is. And I'm really excited to do a cutesy one. Because it's just cute.
Just like you.
Just like you.
Just like you.
Just like you.
You.
You. You.
Both you get back to work.
All right.
This
Time
is every day
for...
of our life, though.
Get out of my head. Time for our Halloween Peppermint. Oh. Time for glue. Now time for Halloween Peppermint. Glop that on before I chose a spot because I'm a genius like that. And I think he's just going to go over here, just like that. And they don't have to be perfect because cute isn't perfect. I mean, it's perfectly cute, but it's not cute perfect. Eh? But I think I want something to hold him up. And I think that maybe if I do something like this, it'll kind of look like he's holding it while it's actually propping him up. And that should be like really cute. And I'm very excited for this. So yeah, I think I'm going to do this guy in his hand. It's going to be really cute. Alright. Gonna do that. Then I'm going to do that. Oh, thank you for following, Leo. Alright, and then I'm going to put some glue in his hand to make it look like he's like really like holding on to it. Because that's what he's doing. He's holding on to his little baby pumpkin. Alright. Then I'm just going to push that glue up into the hand. Really make sure it wraps on. Pull it off the tweezers because no one likes glue on their tweezers. Alright. And now he has a little pumpkin friend. Okay. Now we need to choose our next pumpkin because we're kind of running out of space. That was Mom. Mom likes to leave grass on the tweezers. I do not. Alright. So we have one of these guys on there already. We don't have any of the reds, and we don't have any of the antique whites. So I think these are probably going to be our last two pumpkins, unfortunately. But I think I'm going to put the white one down here.
Now, what kind of pumpkin is that one?
Huh?
What kind of pumpkin is that one you're holding?
Antique white.
But he's not one of the cute ones?
Well, he doesn't have a face.
Oh, okay.
And he doesn't have stripes.
Oh.
So he's just white. So this bad boy's gonna go right there. It is a very cute pumpkin, but it does not have a name because it is not of the cuteness. Alright, and now we gotta choose a spot for our red one right here. We can't choose the very top because that's where our hook is gonna go, and I'm gonna do this really fancy like loop thing that like takes 5 seconds, but it's gonna be cute, and it's also gonna be a very stable hold. That spot's filled, that spot, and that spot, and that spot's filled. Max, why are you counting?
There's a device hidden under your bed.
Well, I'm not in bed, so we should be fine.
Don't worry about it. Keep going. How many times you say cute?
That's really cute, Max. Alright. So, I don't know. I can't think of anywhere cute to put it. Now I'm just going to leave it on the number 13 because that's just how I roll. Alright. I know, Max. I absolutely love how the ghosts turn out. I made a little angry ghost, and then I made a little, like, shocked ghost. I forgot to make a happy ghost, but I like my ghosts. They're very adorable.
one of the things, like, you were painting or pointing out the angry ghost, and when I was looking at him, all I can see is the two eyes and a big giant nose. And I know it's a mouth, but I keep seeing a big giant nose.
Like a Squidward nose?
See it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see that. I just see a happy little ghost. So I think maybe I'll go up there. Maybe. I think that's a good spot. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go right there. Yeah, I'm gonna go right here. I think this is a good spot. Alright. And then I'm just gonna loop that back underneath the pumpkin because it was getting a weird flap. Pull off my cobwebs, make sure my pumpkin stays where it's supposed to. All the cobwebs. Jake, I do think that killing the party, almost killing the party 2 games in a row does sort of make you the villain.
Stop it.
He's the one who said it. I'm just...
Gaming Thursday.
Yeah. I'm playing a 10-year-old, so if you kill me, it's killing a child. That's all I'm saying.
That was thought out.
The reality of the situation is we did some badass stuff and then we got too big for our britches.
And
That's what happened.
and then we didn't have a real healer in our next campaign. So that's where we are so far. So excited. The little ghosts are bonking each other. I think they're fighting, but it's cute, so it's fine. I absolutely love this. It is so cute. I know I said it again, and it's fine. Everything's fine. Alright. So... Yes, I'm pretty sure I am up to 15 now. So, now I get to choose which thread we're going to use. We're either going to use thin twine, looks more like a rope or a hemp. It's very nice. Actually, this is more like a hemp. Or we're going to use this messy stuff, which I say messy, but it's just more of a gritty texture. But you're really not going to be feeling it a lot. Alright, let's get back up to center. Everyone's glued on nice. So why don't you guys vote? Should I use the thin dark brown or the thick light brown? Thick or thin also works.
Got one for dark brown. I think they should use both and make a big bow.
You're the only person in the entire world who can make a nice bow in 5 seconds, okay? It takes me 3 days to get a lopsided bow.
Challenging the internet?
Sure. The internet has been challenged. Make a bow.
The internet says dark brown, so you have been outvoted. Alright, I have no idea how much of this I'm going to use, but there's a lot on this spool, so I'm just going to use a lot of it. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing here, but I want to make something that's nice and stable with also looks really nice. Because the one I made the other day, I just did like a simple loop in the back, and then I hot glued this piece, and then every day I'm horrified that it's just going to slip right out of the hot glue. But it's not, none of these are ever going to be like super heavy, so it should be perfectly fine. But I like being better safe than sorry. Alright. This is going to be a little difficult to make sure you guys can see it, but I'm willing.
I've got it up.
Yeah.
I'm getting good at pushing buttons.
Well, the easiest way would be putting it down like this, but no one can really see that.
We can see the very top of what you're doing.
Yeah. I'm just gonna not rip off the ghost, because otherwise I'd make him more angry, and you wouldn't like it when he's angry.
He's not the whole.
He could be. You trying to crush his dreams? So you can't really see anything right now, but that's because I'm having difficulties. I'm just trying to even it out a little bit. Because I'm going to do sort of like this twisty thing. So I'm just going to like get a second pair of hands from my magical father.
Join the stream.
You're going to hold it up for me, dear.
Watch the mic.
No, you can't hold it there. You have to hold it lower. That's where I'm working.
Wait a moment.
We've got to come over the cords.
You have to hold it from the bottom. You can't hold it from the top.
This okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so I'm just going to go in between the two ghosts, and I'm just gonna loop it around randomly. Just making sure I keep it in between the two ghosts. I'm just gonna try to go for like a semi-pretty design. Ooh. Dad, do you want to twist it more so I can see the front of it better?
That's good.
There we go. Alright, and we're just whirling it around, having fun with it, because apparently the rat really likes this color. So I think we made the right choice.
There you go.
There we go.
Well, since I'm standing here, I'm going to thank Max Universe for hanging out with me and Jake last night while we were running a test on our own stream, helping us listen to audio for us and stuff like that. So very much appreciated.
Now in the back, I just did a twist around so the things are now like this in the back, and that way I can just switch up the pattern just a little bit, just make it even cuter than it already is, because that's just what you got to do sometimes. Alright. Just gonna keep twisting because I gave myself a lot. And the rat's just gonna keep stealing it. And then we're gonna switch it up and go back to this guy. Then I think I'm gonna do something like this. I can't actually see what I'm doing, but you guys wanted a bow, so I'm gonna do a little bow. Just an itsy bitsy bow.
You want to set it down?
No, that's fine. I can kind of see it. Just an itty bitty bow. You see how bad I am at these? Look, it's not even close to sided. There we go. Just a little bow. And then we're going to twist it around a couple more times. Not that side though, because that side's got too low. I'm going to pull that back through. And I'm just doing a little knot in the back, making sure it stays nice and secure. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it up at the top of the loop. Once I get that nice and tight. Alright. That doesn't look very pretty now, does it? Okay. Alright, I think I'm going to have to take out this little bow because it did not turn out very well. So now what we're gonna do, because I think that's a nice little wrapping we've got there. I'm just gonna put it all on this side of this bone. Almost. Pull this wild string in. Takes a little bit of fiddling to get it right, but eventually it'll be right. Is your arm starting to burn?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm almost done. Just 20 more minutes, okay? He's just like... It looks like you're trying not to fart.
Your father's always trying not to fart.
Yeah. Alright.
Then again, so am I.
So now I'm just going to wrap it to where both are on the top. And then we are going to do a pretty little knot at the top. And you're going to want to just do a single knot a little ways down and then a knot on top of that, which makes it a snazzy little double knot. You're going to want to push up and down. You're going to want to pull from like all sides. And then you got a tight double knot right there. And then Mom made a magical bow in 5 seconds because I told you she's a wizard. Was not joking.
She's a witch.
No, I'm the witch.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I'm
and
the bitch.
Dad's tired arm is messing it up a little bit.
Boy.
Alright, so I am going to ninja these scissors out. Flip them like a dangerous human I am. Cut those. And then get those out of my way. And I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on there just to make sure it stays nice and secure, because no one wants a rope that ends, you know. Alright, get rid of the cobwebs. And then, don't really have room for the bow, but maybe it can go up there like this. Dad, can you bring it lower? And it
String on the back you can use to tie it on.
it immediately stuck to there, so I think that's what we're going with, is we're just going to do that. So we're just going to put a huge glob of glue on there just to make sure that sticks nice and well. Because there's not really going to be any weight from this. We just want to make sure that it stays on. And we should be good to free Father from his servitude. Put him upside down again. Oh, see, he's sliding. Why are you sliding? Stop sliding. He's trying to run away.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Get back to work.
Alright, so now we're letting that bad boy glue dry on there. Bring it up again because it was sliding quite a bit. It'll take 2 seconds, they said. Alright, so we're just going to let that dry. And whoever buys this on Shopify gets all the extra baby pumpkins, as well as a surprise one that I haven't painted yet. But next comes the messy part. Once this part dries, we get to go to the moss, which is throwing itself, apparently, but it is stringy. It likes to dust up a lot, but it's going to be a lot of fun for someone else to clean up. I'm just cleaning it. I clean up my own messes. Oh, Mama, you want to put the link to Shopify on there? Oh, fine. Do it yourself then. Alright, I'd say that is almost dry. AKA dry enough. So we are just going to take these snazzy little guys that Mom attached onto there. We're going to tie them up. Oh yes, I tired Dad's arms out so much that he now has to sit down.
No, he's just tired of standing behind me doing nothing.
Yeah, you got it.
Alright, I'm going to tie a knot around there, and that sort of secures this spot a little more. And then I will put some more glue onto this piece. And then we get to wait for that to dry before moving on to the moss. And I'm just going to knot it literally a million times. We've got a ton of screens in here. So Dad's sitting on the couch watching me on the TV. Mom's watching me on the programming. And I'm watching myself so I can read the chat right in front of me. So we're all just watching me.
Live from Crit Monkey Studios.
You forgot to mention the most obvious one. We're actually looking at you as well.
Oh yes, they are unfortunately looking at me. Stop calling me a glue gun hog. You don't even like using glue.
I like using glue, just not a glue gun, because
Exactly.
I burn myself.
Yeah, I do too, but no pain, no gain.
You should never do that again.
Thank you, Max, for coming to my defense. Stop perceiving me, IRL, Dad. It's weird.
I'm looking at the TV.
You're facing me. I'm gonna stab you in the eyes with my tweezers.
Stream. Shh. I'm not here. I'm not perceiving you. I'm not here.
I'm just gonna start throwing glue gun bits at you. Alright. So that is good and glued. So now we'll take another peek. And I think at this point it's a little too large to fit fully on screen, maybe.
No, actually bring it down just a little bit. Right there. You've got it all.
Minus the extra string just hanging down there. And I got a ton of cobwebs everywhere. But look at this cutie patootie over here, strutting it home from work.
Oh, I thought you meant yourself.
I don't work. Alright, so now we are... Okay, apparently I am at 16 cutes now, which makes that 17 cutes, which makes it 18 cutes, 19, and I'm gonna stop now. Alright, now comes moss. Moss. And there's already a little bit of glue in my moss. So this stuff is just gonna go randomly. Well, semi-randomly. It is gonna go into places like this to, like, cover up the hot glue areas. And then it's going to go in spots to cover up the... Oh, no! He dropped his bone. Hold on, bud. I'll fix it.
Super glue on that one instead.
Super glue's not really working right now.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I messed up a lid.
Yeah. I was able to open it, but no hot glue will come out.
It's not.
Super glue.
It doesn't have hot glue in it.
No super glue will come out. You know what? Fine. I'm gonna fix it on stream then. Look what she did to it. She made a mess of it.
It's from your rubber ducky.
It's from your work. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it is like full on deep in there. It is a mess. Alright, I'm just going to use a scrap bit to get the super glue off of the tweezers because no one likes glue on their tweezers except for Ma. Let's test it. Nope, still nothing. Oh, I got a little something. Hey, there we go. I fixed it. Alright. So let's just go like right there. Right there. And then he'll chomp down on it. And I'll just pull the super glue off of my skin. Super comforting feeling. Alright. It's not completely dry yet, but it does seem to be sticking on quite well. So now, back to the moss. So one thing I love doing with skeletons is shoving their ribcage full of moss because that's just fun. So that's one issue with putting him on before the moss, is now you got to work around the wreath. But it doesn't really make all that big of a difference. You just got to shove it up in his ribcage, and it's not too hard. But then you get like this green foliage look inside of there, and it's really cool looking. Then you just tear off the extra because it's super flimsy. And like right here, it's pushing through the ribs, which is super cool looking. I'm actually going to try to get that in other spots. Oh, but it's not going to do it for me, which is fine. It's fine. Yes, I was needing something skinny like that. Haha, still too thick. Oop. And he's dropping his bone. So another thing you can do to get that coming out of the ribs look is you can just take little pieces like this, take a little bit of glue, and just take it from the outside and put it in. And it'll look like it's coming out. And then I don't really like my moss sticking up because that's not really what moss does. So I like to push it down in other spots. Just like that. I also typically do this part with hot glue. And at the moment it seems like that's the better option because it's taking too long to dry. So I'm just going to pull that piece back out because it never dried in. And then especially on small pieces like this, I put the glue directly onto the moss. Just like that. Go. Make sure it sticks in there, because sometimes it's a bully. Pull off the extra with your skin while it's warm. Alright, and if you end up making a hot glue mess, the best solution to that is more hot glue. Or in this case, more hot glue and moss. So I'm just gonna put like a big piece like this. Actually, probably going up to his shoulder blades like that. Yeah, I like that. That way it covers this little glob. And then this piece is going to land on his shoulder right here that you guys can't really see, but I can. Alright. And then this one's going to end right at the tip of his shoulder right there. You gotta work fast with these little globs. Okay. And this one I'm going to pull down like that. I'm just going to glue it right here, right on top of that screw. I love putting moss on my skeletons because it seems like I'm just like aging them. It just makes them seem like just that marginally bit cooler, you know? That's just fun. Alright. Gonna hold that bad boy down. And I'm not gonna add a lot of moss to this guy. Just a couple of like feature spots. I might add some to his ears to make it look hairy, you know, it might be a little cute. But once I get this piece settled down, this will pretty much be all of the boss that's on him. Because it's sort of just something to pull away from all of the screws and the joints. Okay, I'm up to 20 now. Got a big old cobweb here. Alright. Let's see if putting it in his ears will look nice.
Mossy mushroom bone wreath. Yes.
Yeah, I'm absolutely going to do that mossy mushroom bone one. That is going to be absolutely adorable. Yeah, I'm going to start working on that one very soon. Probably going to end up making all of the mushrooms myself, and I can do like those ones that hang off the edge. I don't know mushroom names, but those ones that are like wiggly and hang off the edge of trees. Oh, those are going to be like all the way around. And then some of those red dotted ones around here, some poisonous ones at the top, because, you know. All right, let's see if I can get it to the right size. All right. No, I'm not a big fan of that. Mr. Rat, you gotta hold on to your bone. I got the glue to work, but then it wouldn't melt or hold. Alright. So it's sticking in now, so afterwards, once that's completely done, I'll cut off the extra. Oh yeah. I will absolutely glue his jaw closed. I think one side's probably enough. Alright. So the last bit of moss that's going to be on him is going to be at least this foot, because you can see like the hot glue's right there. And I just want to cover that up as much as possible. They are absolutely going to be glow-in-the-dark mushrooms. I am so excited to do this one now. And I was trying to convince myself that this was going to be my last Halloween wreath this year. But you know, if this one sells, I can absolutely make another one. Alright, I'm going to wrap this guy around his foot. Just like this. There is such thing as too many Halloween wreaths, Miss Leo, and that number is equal to the amount of doors you have in the house plus 6. That's the math equation right there of how many Halloween wreaths is too many, right there.
Do you count double doors as 1 or 2?
2. Unless you have a very, very large wreath, and then it's 1. Yes.
14.
Yes, Miss Leo, it is doors and windows. Well, I'm teaching y'all how to make wreaths, so you can absolutely make 10 or so wreaths max. This one, with the sales that are going on right now, it cost $20-ish. That's including taxes. The big boy I have over there, which is about like this big, I believe it was a 32-inch wreath circle. That one was about $40. So the size over doubled, but the price only doubled, which is pretty nice. But these are a lot of fun to make. And that's everything I have here. That was the cost, which is super nice because I was expecting to spend a lot more to make one of these. Alright. Now the thing about moss is you can't have that only in one spot. I love how his back turned out here. It looks great. Oop. So I was thinking of maybe putting some moss on top of some of them, on top of some of the pumpkins, because some of these pumpkins don't have great tops. Like this one, you can see the top is pulled off a little bit there, and they're really cheap, so that's not a huge surprise. But this one is really off center and not really on all the way. And technically you can break it off and glue it back on, but the easier thing to do is just add some moss. So that's what I'm gonna do. Don't want to add too much though, because I want it to look fun and cute. And I'm not gonna add any to the cute faced ones or the peppermint. I think I'm just gonna add it to like maybe these three. I think that's probably still too much. Probably too little, but we can add more, so. Now I'm just gonna sit that in there just like that, and I absolutely love how that looks. So I'm just gonna pull this guy down a little. And then set him in that. Got a long cobweb there. I absolutely love how that looks, so I'm definitely gonna do that again. Gonna grab a new bundle. Let's break that in half. I'm gonna use this piece, pull off that part. And then I think I'm just gonna break off a little bit more. And it has like a perfect little hole there, so I think I'm just gonna put that around there. I think that'll look really cute. Oh, yes, I was right. That is so cute. Alright, now comes the fun part, which is getting hot glue into that tiny little crevice. Which I am going to cheat. And it worked, so yay. Well, it almost worked. Alright, and then the last pumpkin I'm going to put some moss on is this guy way up here, who really likes the bow, apparently. And I'm just gonna add it to the front, right up here. Just like that, and that's super cute. So now we get to add moss to the actual wreath, because it would look weird if I had moss attached to some of the pieces, but not all of the pieces, but also not to the wreath. That would just look really weird. So I'm just gonna rip off a chunk. And you see the fun little mess happens there. But luckily it's on a table, so I just have to brush it off. Or use this little hand vacuum we have. It works absolute wonders on this stuff. I used it last time. I don't know why you're looking at me. Oh, because I forget how to stream. That's why.
No, Dorky Dino just said hi, so read
Oh.
and say hello.
Hi, Dorky Dino. See, I told you I forget how to stream. No, it was not blue at CantCon. It has only been blue for about a couple of days. I would say, well,
A week.
A
maybe,
week?
Yeah.
wow, I really need to clean the bathroom. I still have stuff from dyeing my hair sprawled about. I need to fix that.
That's the good side of having your own bathroom now that it's just you and me and Dad.
Yeah. Oop. Thank you, Dorky. Ooh, that was a good spot. I really like that spot. He just looked at the bathroom and sighed. I just said I needed to clean it. Alright, just trying to wrap this guy in there. I'm gonna use this guy again because I don't really like the feeling of burning glue on my hands. It's just an odd little quirk of mine. I mean, this works too.
Okay. That was loud, sorry.
Yes, it was. I'm just gonna rip this piece off so I don't have to worry about it. Alright, Mama, where do you want me to put the next piece of moss?
Right there.
I'm not gonna put any moss on my nose. I'm not Rudolph the moss-nosed reindeer. Oh yeah, I could just... Oh yeah, that'd be cute. Yeah, I'm putting some there. I know, Max, that is really just the absolute best feeling, huh? And with these, I'm just using my fingernail and just pinching them off because it's pretty frail. That's why you want to be gentle with this type of wreath, is because the moss can go everywhere very quickly, as you can see. That was just me taking it out of the package. Oh, we got a long cobweb here. It's going everywhere. Ooh, I feel like I'm following a treasure map of just cobwebs. All right. Dad, it's your turn to pick a spot for my moss. Let's just do this piece right here. Chop off the long bits. You're bad at choosing. You're gonna put all of the moss on the same side?
Directly
just put a little
opposite what
piece.
he just pointed. Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking like the exact opposite of what he pointed is a great spot.
I'm done.
This is why you do the storying, not the drawing and the crafting. And I think this piece I'm actually going to loop underneath the bone. Because I got all these long pieces and I'm tired of cutting them off, so I'm just going to pull them underneath. But then I'm going to remember to hot glue underneath it. Well, I wasn't expecting him to be that bad at it, you know? You gotta have some balance. Like this craft is very much a do whatever random thing you want to do type of craft. But that doesn't mean put all of your stuff on the same side, because then it gets lopsided very quickly. Like the rat might make it lopsided a little bit, but not very much. It'll probably look cute and on purpose. So, oh, I still have the lights on. Forgot about that. There we go. All right. I think I'm going to put one last piece of... I think I'm going to put one last piece of moss, and I think it's probably going to be like hiding, sort of, maybe. Yeah, I'm going to put it right down here, right underneath the spot Dad just told me to put it. You pointed at a weird spot, okay? So this is where I'm going to go. And I'm just going to get another glue stick because it is running low again. So the hack Mom is talking about right now is you take a glue gun and you take the end of it and you put it against the metal to just heat it up just a little bit, and then it will stick to the end of it if you do it properly, unlike I just did. You can also just glue out a little bit, a little glob,
That's what I heard.
and then put it like that. Either way works.
Yeah.
The put extra little glob works a little better. Honestly, I never really have a problem with it in the first place, so I don't really do that very often. And I'm just going to let these little strings hang like that because it's from the top, so those are going to be hanging down sort of. And it's just going to work really well, I think. I think we're almost done. I think I'm going to add like a little piece to this bone here. Just like squeeze a little bit right in there. Find the tool I lost. Shove it in. Then realize that the glue dried before I could get it in. So pull it back out. Put a little bit more glue. And it's just a little bit of accent piece. Just a little bit to show like, hey, there was a lot of detail put into this. Sort of little piece of moss.
You have a question from Dorky? Remember to read it.
Dorky is asking any tips for making less hot glue strings. I love hot glue, but I get so annoyed with the little strings of glue every time. I have no idea. One thing that I do that seems to work a little bit is I hold it there for a little second longer and then pull it away, making sure I'm not pulling it as I go, because that seems to have a less. So like, some people do that, and what I like to do is do that and then just like wipe it a little bit, and that definitely lessens them quite a bit. But honestly, they're an inevitability in life. They're always going to happen because they just like to happen, unfortunately. But yeah, that seems to help a little bit. If you have even if you're gluing on here, like putting a little bit of glue on here and then have a spatula like this, so like you glue a little bit here and then you just have a little tool to scrape off there, that will stop it stringing as much. But you're still going to have strings, they're always going to happen. Like this one, going everywhere for no reason. It looks like a little moss swing. That's kind of cute. In the trash. Like, I was just moving my hot glue gun around and I have strings everywhere now. And this guy is just like a clay tool. That just comes in a set. But honestly, just like metal would probably work better, but wood would probably also work. So this bone is coming up a little bit, so I'm just gonna clean that up a little. And then I think we're just about done. Unless y'all think there's anything else I should add that I have here around the house. Or not around the house. I could pick something up tomorrow. There we go.
I do have one more tip for getting rid of hot glue gun string. Is once you're done, you can hit the your crafted thing with a hairdryer, and it basically will just melt away the strings that have been left.
There's Mom's fancy little bow.
There you go.
And then
Mr. Ratty Pants.
a cute little rat. And it's glowing all nice. I don't know how well you can see that with all the lights I have in front of me. But this right here was actually extra from my first wreath that I had made.
Try and turn it off.
Oh, yeah. We're going dark.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. Oh, that looks so awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it looks a little bit better in person, but it looks absolutely
great
phenomenal.
on screen.
It looks like the spooky pumpkins are having a disco party over here, and it's just, man, I love making these.
Which ones are the glow in dark again? Is it the ghosts?
All of the ones with faces are glow in the dark. Well, the faces are glow in the dark.
Should I bring it back up?
Oh, yeah, sure. This will be an absolutely amazing thing to have on your door on Halloween night, especially if you don't have a light outside of your house, because some people don't have those. I'm not entirely sure why, but some people don't. Here's your light, you know?
I'm on the beam.
Oh, hi. But yeah, this is an absolutely... It's super easy to make. The larger it is, the longer time it takes. The first one I made took roughly 6 hours. I am absolutely covered in moss. First one took about 6 hours. This one took as long as we have been sitting here, plus the pumpkins, which was like less than an hour. It was super fun shopping for all of this stuff. I gotta pick up the wreath and like look at what I wanted to put on there. It was a lot of fun, and I have a ton of leftover supplies. I've got a ton leftover of this. I've got quite a few pumpkins left. I've got a whole roll of this left because I only did one round on this thing, and it doesn't take much to go around this. But you have a ton of leftover supplies. All you would have to do is to buy another wreath, a wire wreath, and you can do it again, slightly different. You would have buy a different skeleton. Yes, maybe buy some mushrooms. But yeah, it's super easy. You just have fun with it. And it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed making it. So I think before we head out, because it is done, are there any other questions? Yeah, I have about 100 different hobbies. This is the newest of them. And I have not finished very many projects, but I have a lot of the supplies to finish those projects. So, all right.
You want to hold the wreath up one more time and then say goodnight?
Yeah. Here it is again in all of its glory. The spooky, scary skeleton, and spooky ghosts. So I will steal their stream again later, eventually, to do more stuff. Until then, I will see you on Mom's streams to pester her. So see y'all!
Oh, before we go,
Oh.
one more question from Leo.
Well, that depends on when I have ideas. I am hoping to do weekly, but I doubt that because I am not smart enough to come up with ideas weekly.
Wrong.
Streamable ideas that don't take more than 5 seconds.
My hope is that Kora will be streaming at least twice a month. For right now, I'd like to at least start them on that.
Are we gonna pick a person to raid? No?
Not tonight. We could not find anybody that was matching what you
My
were doing.
aesthetic.
Yes.
Yes, I have a very odd aesthetic. And it's
Well,
not
we were-
quite Halloween yet, technically.
We were looking for somebody else who was crafting, but it's just not happening right now, so.